Wildcats. Ball will be spotted at their own 37-yard line. Number 8, Ryan Kramer, the ball carrier for Napoleon. Tackle on the play by number 36, Corey Freshour. Situation for the Wildcats. Scott Black's pass intended for number 2, Ben Snyder, falls incomplete. For the Wildcats. Back to punt the ball for the Wildcats, number 9, Nick Sonnenberg. Back to receive for the Redmen, number 10, Ryan Garrison. And number 21, Jason Rubright. Jason Rubright with the punt return for Fostoria. Tackle on the play by number 2, Ben Snyder. That'll bring up a first down for the Redmen. Ball spotted at their 31-yard line. The ball carrier for the Redmen. The loss of 1 on the play brings up a second down and 11. Jason Rubright, the ball carrier for Fostoria. Tackle on the play by number 15, Jared Van Osdale. Also 2 on the play, brings up a third down and 13. Ball spotted at the Redmen 28-yard line. Tackle on the play by number 76, Jason Rickenberg, and number 15, Jared Van Osdale. Corey Epperberg back to punt the ball for Fostoria. Back deep to receive for the Wildcats, number 8, Ryan Kramer. Intended for number 88, Ross Durham, falls incomplete. That'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Wildcats. Southwest pass complete to number 15, Jared Van Osdale. That's good for a Wildcats first down. The ball spotted at their own 42-yard line. Second down and 10.
Welcome, Wildcat fans, to week number 7 of Wildcat football, and this week it's going to be the Wildcats versus the Fostoria Redmen. Coach, what kind of team is this Fostoria football team?
Well, they're looking for their first win, but it's still Fostoria. We think it's going to be a very physical game. Every year Fostoria is our hardest hitting football game, and I don't think this year is going to be any different. They still fly to the football. They still have some good speed. They've got some good-sized guys. They're hungry, and we're going to their environment. We always talk about how Fostoria is such a hostile environment to play in, and that kind of fires us up anyway. So, I look forward to be a very competitive contest. We've got to play well.
And in the years past, they've had some great athletes. Damon Moore, who's playing at Ohio State now, and Richard Newsom, who was there last year. Do they have those types of athletes this year?
They've got one that I think is pretty good, and that's this Chance Register, number 23. He's a safety and a wide receiver for him. He's definitely a threat. But what they don't have the numerous weapons. Like in the past, we've had to defend more than just a type of a Newsom kid. We've always had 2 or 3 other kids that made it difficult for defending them. They don't have as many of those this year, but they've got fast kids that play football, and I think it's going to be a very tough contest.
How is the injury situation for going after 6 weeks? Are we still healthy or not?
We're still pretty healthy, yeah. I mean, we've had minor things here and there, but going into each week, we've been in pretty good shape. Last week we had a couple kids not dressed, but we've been very fortunate, knock on wood, in that respect this year. I think the whole key for us is this week is 4 quarters of football. I thought we played well enough to beat Clay last week, but we let it slip away with penalties and letting them convert big third down plays. So we've got to get those things out of our system.
Okay, thank you, Coach, and good luck tonight.
Hey, thanks, Ryan.
Hey. In 5, 4, 3. Welcome, Wildcat fans, to week number 7. Napoleon Wildcats versus the Fostoria Redmen. We are halfway through the first quarter as the Napoleon Wildcats just called a timeout with 5:16 left in the first quarter. NCTV, your hometown public access channel, apologizes for that delay that we just brought you. We had some technical difficulties, and that we do apologize for, but you didn't miss much. Score is still 0-0. Both teams have had the ball once. Napoleon is now on their second possession, and Ryan's going to talk a little bit about the stats right now.
Here's the recap for what we missed. And the first possession, the Wildcats had a 5-yard run by Kramer and a 1-yard run by Snyder, and incompletion by Rex, and they were forced to punt. On their last drive, The Wildcats got 2 passing first downs with a 11-yard strike to Van Osdale and a 9-yard strike to Ross Durham. We are now at 4th down and 16 after 2 negative plays. So there's the punt by Ryan Kramer. Oh, and it's blocked as number 33 got in there in a hurry. There's flag on the field. I think they're going to wave it off, as I think there was contact. So see what the flag is. We got to say no flag, and they're going to have the ball at the Fostoria is going to have the ball at about the 35-yard line, as the ball was deflected by the number 33 of the Fostoria Redmen, and it was, and therefore there is no roughing the kicker when it is touched. Now for the Fostoria side, they first drive they had no first downs and they lost 6 yards. So a good job by the Napoleon defense on the first drive. They're going to go under center now with number 10, Gerritsen, under center.
Hey, Wildcat fans, this is NCTV Channel 5, hometown public access channel. 4:55 left in the first quarter. We've got a score 0-0, second down and 10 for the Fostoria Redmen, who are 0-6, by the way. Playing a lot of tough teams this year, such as St. John, Whitmer, Fremont Ross. The Napoleon team is 1-5 coming into this game. Wearing the white tonight. I'd like to inform you of a number change. Scott Rex is wearing number 4. His 33 was wide open in the flats. He's going to go. I can't see the yard marker. He breaks it free. Brought down by Tyson Bolton at about the 10-yard line. That was number 33, Orlando Barrientes. That is a letterman for the Fostoria Redmen. Yes, we are in Fostoria Memorial Stadium. Defending state champions right here, and they just broke one to the top part of your screen. And my, oh my. So, well, we're looking at first down and 6. Otherwise known as first and goal. The handoff, nothing doing, as these Fostoria Redmen cannot get through that interior line, that interior defensive line of the Napoleon Wildcats. They're playing tough ball in there tonight. This is a Fostoria team that I believe lost 19 seniors, so obviously hurting for strength and leadership. They dressed actually 24 freshmen tonight. 4 started. So obviously young kids, but they will be competitors. 3:36 in the first quarter. 10 drops back, looks. Is it caught or not? Yes, indeed it was. So pass is caught to 23. Sean Chank Register picked up a yard. 3rd and 5 to go. 3rd and goal, actually. 3rd and 18. Well, excuse me. Ball is on the 4-yard line, so 3rd and 4 to go. 3rd and goal. Here come the Fostoria Redmen with 2:59 in the first quarter. Handoff, number 10. Oh, fakes the give, rolls out to the near side of your screen. Walks through the Wildcat defense. Touchdown, Fostoria. And Fostoria jumps to the early lead. 6-0 with 2:52 left in the first quarter. Oh, my. They got out there quick. They just ran, just as we said, the interior line was doing great. Number 10, Ryan Gerritsen, faked the handoff, rolled down on the near side of your screen, and then cut it back up to the middle after he already had the defense committing to him on the outside, and just kind of tiptoed his way through there. So we've got 56. Corey Eckelberry, 2-year letterman in the 11th grade. Flag on the play. So we're probably going to look at something against Fostoria, I would imagine, here next year, if the hopes and dreams of Buckenmeyer Stadium come true. A high snap. I don't know what they're doing, but it looks like he's going to try and run it in, and nothing doing there. So still a score of 6-0 as the Redmen fail on the 2-point conversion.
I'll recap that scoring drive for the Fostoria Redmen as It was all set up by a 29-yard pass to Barrientes from Garrettson. And then from there on, it was just Garrettson taking it in from 4 yards out, and that's how they scored. The extra point was no good, as it looked like a botched extra point. And now the Wildcats will take over. Like Scott said, they have lots of young kids on this Fostoria team that was state champs last year. Their starting middle linebacker's only a freshman, and he's 5'6", so a small kid in the middle, so I think they'll try and take advantage of that with Ross Durham and their big running backs.
We're seeing some awesome defense here tonight. Ryan Huffman is these Wildcats and the Redmen are really not letting anything through. So making it a tough night for the offenses here. I will say probably the coldest game of the year so far. And you know what happens when you get into the last 4 weeks? The last 4 weeks of your season suddenly becomes very cold. And in 2 weeks, when we go back to loose field, we're probably going to be in snowsuits.
That could be, Scotty, as that will be the last game in loose field. As it kicks up and it's going to Kramer, who finds a little seam and swarmed under about the...
Man, that boy took a hit.
About the 25-yard line. Yes, he did take a good hit from a Fostoria Redmen player. As really smacked down, he thought he saw a hole, but somebody really closed it up for the Fostoria Redmen as they're going to start on the 24-yard line. First down and 10, and that's where Scott Rex started from.
Oh, buddy, Ryan Huffman, let me tell you, that boy took a hit, and this is perfect football weather right here. You got the still night, kind of a nice little breeze. You feel that cold air coming in under the lights, getting dark. And Scott Rex wearing number 4. As you remember, early in the season, that jersey got ripped. He fakes the give, rolls out, got Ross Durham wide open. Ross Durham falls on his feet, and just like he kind of did a nice little slide, he was open, but he went down. As that boy really does find a way to get open. He sure does. And that's a big boy out in the flats. Just shoot between the 88, and it'll be a guaranteed catch for Ross Durham. Yes, sirree. As the Wildcats look to come to work again. Van Osdale. That is to the near part of your screen. Rodriguez to the far. I believe that was probably a handoff to number 8, Ryan Kramer. Yes, indeed, as Ryan has really stepped up the last 2 weeks. He stepped off 60 yards last week, if I'm correct. A great order. We've got a score of 6-0 in favor of the hometown Fostoria Redmen. Scott Rex drops back and is brought down. 33. I believe that's Chank Register. Oh my, he got in there fast. Excuse me, Orlando Barrientes. Orlando Barrientes, the senior, 5'10", 190-pound running back, linebacker. Wow. Brings up 4th and 15 as he got in there quick. Something these Wildcats, or the Redmen, keep sending 33. Up the middle, another block punt. 33. Unable to pick it up. Is that a safety? Yes, they tackled Ben Snyder in the end zone as Fostoria blocked another punt. And oh my gosh, Ryan Huffman. What a defensive stand we're seeing here by the Fostoria Redmen. They're going wild on defense. Blocked 2 punts already tonight. Makes it 8-0. Hey, they got their 2 points. And the ball back. They get the ball back.
Yes, that's right. They do get the ball back. But the Fostoria Redmen must have seen a flaw in our punting game as they're sending Chance Register right up the middle, and he's blocked 2 of them already. And oh, that was Barrientes. I think Register might have gotten it the first time. And they're just sending those 2 right up the middle as they were both there. And these punts aren't even getting a chance to get off as Fostoria Redmen are going to get the ball. I think that was a wise move by Ben Snyder to keep it in the end zone, is only giving them 2 points rather giving them the ball at the 1 yard line instead of giving them 6 or 7.
All right. The Wildcats will be kicking this off and give these Fostoria Redmen yet another chance. As I would say, the Redmen have dominated the time of possession here. Russell Osborne, with an all right kick, kicks it to about the 40. It was touched by Redmond. He had to fall down on it. So he fielded it at the 40. That's a gain of about 7 yards. Got it up to just I'll say the 46-yard line. 47 they're going to call it.
This wasn't the start that the Wildcats were looking for. They want to get out of the gates early against this young team and maybe get them down, and you can kick them a couple times, as they'll probably roll over for you since they're so young. So here comes Garrettson behind center. Garrettson drops back, and Zamarripa comes through. As he has a good run afterwards. He just tucked it under right after Zamarripa came through with lots of pressure and took it for a gain of a gain of 18 yards for the senior.
All right, 1st and 10, Redmond. Ball on the Wildcat 34-yard line with 56 and ticking left in the first quarter. Here's Garrettson. Checks his men. Takes the snap. He's still got the ball. Oh, my. He scrambled for 3 or 4 yards. Going to bring up second and about 6. Ball's on the 30-yard line. Excuse me. Looking at 2nd and 4. Ball on the 28. He picked up more than what I thought. Looking at 2nd and 4 for the Fostoria Redmen. As this is a ball we're going to have to watch for the fumbles here today. Just that cold weather. I got the fumble feeling. I think we're going to have to check the field at halftime, Ryan Huffman, because guys are falling down all over. That's the end of the first quarter. This is NCTV Channel 5, your hometown public access channel, the voice of the Wildcats. We need some big plays right here for the Wildcats. They need to control this ball, move it down the field, and see just exactly what they can do right here. Here we go. We've got number 4, Scott Rex. Again, number change. He usually wears 13. That was a handoff to Snyder. Or excuse me, Kramer. No, Ben had it. They say go with your gut thought, and that's what I thought. Should have never changed my mind. 11:36 left in the second half. Wildcats win tonight. Maybe Scott Rex could stick to number 4. With 11:22 left in the second half. Here's Rex with a handoff to Snyder. Nothing doing there. 11:12 left in the first half. We've got the Battle of the Bands down on the west end of the stadium, battling it out more here in Fostoria Memorial Stadium. And our Wildcat cheerleaders have some moves. First down, Wildcats. That was carried by Kramer as he picked up 7 yards. Good enough for a first down. That's some way to get the play for the Fostoria Redmen. Takes up about 10 yards. Oh my, they just get set. Oh, and they quick surge. Bring down Ryan Kramer. 2nd down and 10. Ball is on the 43-yard line. 2nd 12, that was a loss of 2 yards. See what the Wildcats can do here. Less than 10 minutes left in the second half. Scott Rex brings his team up to the line. Again, that Fostoria Redmen defense just getting set. Fakes a give. Pressure. Unloads one. Nothing doing. Overthrown. That pass was intended for Durham. Incomplete. 9:44 left in the second half. Brings up 3rd and 12 as Rex was pressured early in that play. Just barely made it out of that. but still through the incompletion. The Redcoats are coming. The Redcoats are coming. The Fostoria Redmen drum section. Oh, and that's going to be offsides. Well, hang on. Fostoria seems to be celebrating a little bit, but that's who I saw go across the line first, Barrientos. Then late. And now he comes off. I believe that's Brad Cordes in motion. Fakes the give. Oh, and is brought down. Oh, man. The Redmond defense brought him down. Ryan Huffman.
Scott Rex didn't fool anybody on that fake, and everybody was coming from the Fostoria Redmen and laid a hit on the junior quarterback, and we're going to bring up 4th down and 20, and Wildcats are punting again. This has been a rough chore for Ryan Kramer all night. He's had the first 2 blocks. Maybe he could get one off this time. We got number 23 and number 20 back. As he got one off, it looked like it was blocked, but he still got positive yardage out of it, and ball's going to be spotted at the the Fostoria Redmen 40-yard line. But he's still a quick kid for the Fostoria Redmen as he can run. Got 8:49 left. Register pitches out to number 33, Barrientos, and that's going to be a loss of.
On the play by number 7, Brad Cordes. The loss of 5 on the play brings up a 2nd down and 15.
As they're lined up. And it's a reverse to Register, who can't get the handle and falls on it back about the. This guy said it's going to bring up 3rd and a whole lot.
3rd and a chunk of change.
What was that, Scotty?
It's going to bring up 3rd and a chunk of change. And a whole lot of change. Almost 3rd and 30. 3rd and 27. With 7:38 left in the second half. Ball is now on the 25-yard line. And I would say it'd be a miracle if they got the first down here, because that Wildcat defense is playing spectacular here tonight. And they hand it off, nothing doing there. We're going to see Fostoria punt with 7:16 left in the second half.
And now the Redmen are going to punt. Snyder and Cordes back. Snyder's going to take it. He's got a good block from Brad Cordes. He sees the seam. He breaks his tackle. He's going to be going down the sideline. I don't see any flags. That's going to be a touchdown for Ben Snyder. He does it again on the special teams with his 2nd touchdown of the year. Special teams. That was a 65-yard run back for Ben Snyder. As wow, did he break 2 tackles, and then he was down the sideline for the touchdown. So it is now 8-6 with 6:49 remaining in the first half. In favor of the Fostoria Redmen, and the Wildcats are lining up. I think they're lining up for 2 points. They're trying to tie the score up, as that was a big play by Ben Snyder, the senior captain. Yes, we have Snyder and Kramer and Rodriguez in the backfield. Drex rolls out. He's going to take it. His second effort gets him into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Is now 8-8 in favor of nobody, as it's tied. Because that was a big emotional lifter for the Wildcats, as they were starting to get down a little bit over there on the sidelines, but that picked them up as they're all high-fiving each other and ready to go now. Maybe we'll see some life out of these Wildcats.
Well, as I've never seen a crowd and team come to life as what that run back by Ben Snyder just did for these Wildcats. They're pumped now. Coaches jumping up all over the place. Players high-fiving each other. Finally, 6:49 left in the second half. We've got a team that has just came to life right here, and I'm going to say lights out for the Fostoria Redmen right now. Redmen Memorial Stadium. Here's Russell. Got quite the leg on him, Russell Osborne, a sophomore. He'll be around for a while. The kick is up, and he sends a beautiful one. Unable to field the Fostoria Redmen. Oh, and he broke. Looked like he was going to break for some yardage. What? And there is a flag on the play. Tackled by Zamo Ripa. Score 8-8 with 6:42 left in the second half. We're going to see what this call is. As Ben Snyder goes over to talk with the men in stripes. And from the Fostoria's own 8-yard line. So we're going to have the Fostoria Redmen back deep in their own territory with 6:42 left in the second half. This is NCTV Channel 5. We've got a quarterback change for the Redmen. Number 12, Doug Brigham. A flag on the play. This will bring up half the distance to the goal. It'll probably move him back to the 4th because I'm sure it's against Fostoria. Give him some. So we're looking at 1st and 5 from the 13. So that just cut their distance, well, basically in about half, and brings up 1st and 5. So we'll see what the Redmen can do right here. Again, Ryan Brigham, number 12 with the quarterback change. Looks up real quick, has a man open. Nick Sonnenberg and Brad Cordes all over that one. I've done that many times before. I've mistaken Scott Sonnenberg for Nick Sonnenberg. Just one of those things you have to get out of your brain. So we see some different men coming in for the Redmen. Nick Sonnenberg comes out. Looks like he's favoring his right shoulder. See if he gets attention from Mike Nye, and yes, indeed he does. That's Mike Nye, the trainer guy. Does a fantastic job year-round for the Wildcats sports staff. Here's Brigham. Goes up. Caught by number 20. Good enough for first down yardage and more. Brought down by Kramer. Kramer kind of spun him around 3 or 4 times and then dropped him. That was a tackle all by the yards. So Doug Brigham connects with number 20, Michael Burke. With 6:18 left in the second half, the Fostoria Redmen are driving. We're going to see what they have up their sleeve now. 1st and 10 on their own 44. Wildcats are set. Redmen are set. And here we go. Drops back to pass. Has a man open. Caught. And brought down by number 17, Tyson Bolton. Well, 3 straight passes for the Redmen. And they're moving that ball into Wildcat territory. Ball on the 29-yard line. Excuse me. No, sir, we're looking at 27-yard line. Inside Wildcat territory. These Redmen are driving, bringing in the armed player of Ryan Brigham. Maybe he was a secret weapon they've been hiding all week. Here he goes again. The handoff is to number 41, Bennett. Yes, indeed. He picks up a gain of about 5. So we're looking at 1st and 5 with 5:56 left in the first half. And it looks like Bennett just went down. The Spaghetti Dinner, October 24th. Here are the Redmen. Back, nearly picked off. I'd say it was. By Cordes. What are they going to say? Well, they say he was down. That's going to be Redmen balls. As the Wildcat fans don't like that call at all. As you heard the boos for miles. It's going to bring up 3rd and I'd say 15. Okay. Okay, 3rd and 6. Excuse me, my bad. 3rd and 6 for the Redmen. Okay, we're going to see what Brigham can do, if he's for real or not. The handoff was to 33, Bientes. And that's a first down as they move the ball some more. Has the ball up to the 24, excuse me, 19, the 15-yard line. With 5:27 left in the second half. Okay, we're going to see what these Redmen can do as they are running more time off this clock. Battle of the trenches here tonight in Fostoria Memorial Stadium. We've got Fostoria Redmen in motion. The handoff was to number 21, Justin Rubright. Tackle on the play by Cordes with 4:50 left in the first half. Brooks Pedraza checks into the game for Cordes. They're going to give him a breather. Brings up 2nd down and 4 for the Fostoria Redmen. And oh my, this is close to us, folks. Ball is on the 9-yard line, so they're inside the 10. See what Brigham can do. Hands off to 33, Bientes. Scoots and squabbles ahead for about 2 yards. Okay, 3rd and 3, gain of 1. 63, John Black in on the tackle. Yes, sir. Okay. 3rd down and 3 for the Fostoria Redmen. These again are your defending state champions. As a clap gets started on the Wildcat sideline. Brigham fakes the give. Falls down. Nothing doing there. As that Wildcat defense stepped up to the challenge and said, no way. You're not going to trick us. As that was a very impressive fake. Let's see what these Redmen have up their sleeves with 3:32 left in this first half. I would imagine that they would kick a field goal, but you never know. 3rd and 3 or 4th and 3 would be a very short distance, but we'll see. Before the game, the Akron Coventry band is not going to make the trip with their team. So the Charles Buckenmeyer Stadium Committee is going to set up a special event for you. And stay tuned for that. Here's Brigham. There looks like they're going to go for it. I don't know if that's a wise decision. Puts the ball up in the air. Touchdown and a flag on the play. Somebody was in somebody's face. We'll see what the call is. I imagine it would be defensive pass interference, but I'm not sure. Was that a touchdown or not? Pass interference against the Wildcats. That's declined. Tank register with the score. And that was pass interference by the Wildcats. So that's going to be TD Redmen with a score of 14-8 here late in the first half. 3:07. So they're going to attempt the extra point. We're going to see if they can get that snap down a little bit lower this time. Perfect snap. The kick is up. No good. So they still have 14 because they got the safety from the Wildcats on one of those blocked punts. And let's pack loose field. We'd like to get as many as we can. Here is the kick. It's kind of a low one. Sent right to Kramer. And Kramer could also bust one. Looks like he's got some room. Still on his feet. Oh, and finally brought down. He would have been off to the races also, as that's poor punt coverage by the Fostoria Redmen.
Not only poor punt coverage, but poor tackling also by the Fostoria Redmen. Is Ryan Kramer did a nice job of working, giving second, third, and fourth effort on that to take the ball up to the 48-yard line of the Fostoria Redmen, as the Wildcats only have to travel 48 yards and 2:57 for another touchdown. So good field position should really help the Wildcats. Rex is under center with 3 guys in the backfield. Fakes a give. Oh, no. As he's off to about the 35-yard line, his number 21 went after Rodriguez for the pitch, and nobody took it. Scott Rex, who had the football, and went right around the end for a gain of... As it is good for a first down. It was a gain of 18 yards. Or no, sorry, 11 yards. Rex is under center again. Hands off to Rodriguez. No, sorry. Kramer right up the middle. No wonder Rodriguez had nobody around him. And that was good for another first down for the Wildcats, as Kramer got 10 yards on that carry. So there's 2:45 left. We have a timeout. I'd like to remind you that all funding for all Napoleon football games is provided by the Henry County Bank. Like a good friend, we're here for you. See what they do this time is they got Fostoria has all kinds of guys up in the box, they call it, within 7 yards of the line, and Rex breaks a tackle, goes around the end again. It's going to be a gain of about
Scott Rex with the quarterback keeper, run down by number 23, shots are ready.
about 8. This is going to be second down and 2 for the Wildcats. That play has done a good job, as nobody keeps taking Scott Rex, and he keeps holds on to it, tucks it under, and had a good run there. As broke one tackle at the line of scrimmage and was able to get 8 yards after that.
There you go.
Rex again on the carry. Let's see if he got the first down. No, he did not, as it's going to bring up third down and inches, as they're going to bring on a measurement. I think it's a little short, but we'll see. There's 1:52 left in the first half. Score 14-6 in favor of the home Fostoria Redmen. And it is a first down for the Wildcats. It's 3 first downs in a row as they keep marching this football down the field. Rex is under center. Gives to Kramer. He breaks a couple tackles, gets some second effort, gains about 6 yards for the Wildcats. His second effort got him 2 more.
Pickup of 7 brings up a second down and 3. Ball spotted at the Redmen 10 yards.
Ryan Kramer now has 30 yards rushing for the Wildcats on 7 carries. That averages out to a little more than 4 yards a carry. And again, they give it to Kramer. As the Wildcats call timeout for gain.
Ball carrier for the Wildcats. Hit on the play by number 59.
For gain of 1. All right, here comes Scott Rex under center. We got a big 3rd down and 3 here. The Wildcats on the 10-yard line. They need a first down. Prolong this drive to even up the scores. They give to Kramer right up the middle, and I don't think he got it. I think he's about a yard short. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 1, and a big decision for Coach Snow to go for the field goal or to kick or to go for it on 4th down and 1.
Timeout, Napoleon.
Coming down, you'd like to go in with a score and be ahead by 1 or 2. And going into halftime, that'd be a tremendous momentum buster. It's the keeper. From my vantage point, I'm going to say he got it. It's real close. First down, Wildcats. An excellent surge by the Wildcats. They're in the hurry up. Excellent surge by the offensive line. Hopefully we can feel the momentum shifting right now. Rex rolls out to the top side of your screen. Passes. Incomplete. Intended receiver Ben Snyder with 43.9 left in the first half. Oh, man. As 23 check register came flying in there to break up that pass. Rex had a beautiful fake and a nice rollout. It looked pretty. All right, 14-8 in favor of the hometown Fostoria Redmen. Scott Rex is set. Wearing number 4 tonight. Here they go. Again. Looks, has Durham open. Touchdown! Oh. Incomplete. That's what they call it. With 37.3 seconds left. All right, 3rd and goal for the Wildcats. They need to punch it in right here. And when I mean punch it in with a bang. 37.3 in the first half. A huge momentum booster right here. Going to that locker room with a lead. Here's Rex. Drops back. Looks pressured. Sidearms it. Oh, they say incomplete pass. That could have been picked up by the Fostoria Redmen. Scott Rex is very lucky that it didn't, because there were some there. 33.2 ticks. 4th and goal to go. Looks like the Wildcats are going to go for it. Indeed they are. So this is going to be huge momentum for the Redmen if they can stop the Wildcats on 4 consecutive tries. Or maybe we'll see the Wildcats punch it in. I don't know. Let's find out right now. Rex. Jared Van Osdale in motion. Rex drops back, fakes the give. Sidearms it to Durham. Touchdown. Wildcats, as Jared Van Osdale was almost in the way right there. Brings up tied score. Tied ball game. As, man, Ross Durham was just inside that yard line. Just inside. 25.9 seconds left. And Russell's going to attempt the extra point. On the hold is Sonnenberg. Snap is up. Penalty on the play. Kick is good. We're going to see just exactly what this is. Illegal procedure against the Wildcats. So now we're going to wait and see. This is obviously going to mark them back a little bit. I don't think that should be a problem for Russell, though. A very consistent kicker who really has no problem giving that ball a boot. As Greg Durham goes back into the game. Okay. He's going to try it again. He needs to straighten that ball up a little bit as it was real close to the far post. The snap is up, the hold, the kick is low. Oh! The ball didn't even get off the ground. So both teams botch a pair of extra points. We've got a tied score, 14-14, with 25.9 seconds left. Come on out, October 24th, before the game. They're going to have a reunion of sorts. You find your sign and stand there, and you'll get recognition. Okay. We're going to see Osborne again. Ozzy Osborne. The kick is up. Oh, my. And it goes about 20 yards. Flag on the play. The ball rolled out of bounds. There's a flag on the play. See exactly what this is. Okay, Redmen declined the penalty. Ball will be at the Redmen's own 41-yard line. And they've got the arm, the man with the arm in the ball game, Doug Brigham. I would imagine you're going to see 3 or 4 real quick passes right here as they're going to try, the Redmen are, to put some points on the board. All right, they've got the 3 receivers set, lined up in the T formation in the backfield. Oh my, he went long for 23. Touchdown, Redmen. Ryan Kramer had the coverage and lanky-legged 23. Chalk Register, the hero of this team, scores in 8 seconds time. We've got a score of 20-14. Late, and I mean late, in the first half. We thought the Wildcats were going to go into the locker room with the momentum, but just like that, the Redmen strike. And man, if every team could do that, wow. Unbelievable, excellent play. This Brigham, I don't know why he didn't start the way he's been airing the ball out. Looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversione. Brigham's back, looks into the end zone, long for Register. So we've still got a score, 20-14. In favor of the Fostoria Redmen. Line. Tank Register, what an athlete. The kick is a low one. Bounces up to Tyson Bolton, and he falls on it with 15.8 ticks left in the first half. We've got a score of 20-14 here for Fostoria Redmen Stadium. This is NCTV Channel 5, your hometown public access channel, the voice of the Wildcats. All right, let's see what Rex has in his arsenal right now. With 15 ticks left, Rex hands it off to number 8, Ryan Kramer. Tries to break for a few, fumble. Fostoria football with 11.8 seconds in the first half. And oh my Lord, I don't know what they have in store for us now, Ryan Huffman. As I will say, this has been the longest 25 seconds of my life. I'm sure it's been Napoleon's too. With now 11.8 ticks left in the clock. We're going to see the man with the arm, Brigham, go to work. Again, that 3 receiver set. Oh, and Register was way offsides. Bring him back under pressure. Falls down. Chased by the big man himself, the master of disaster, Lee Zamaripa. And that clock's running. Suddenly, they run the clock. Well, I believe there's a timeout on the field. Don't leave yet, Wildcat fans. We're going to see what the discussion is. Coach John Snow is fired up. For many high school band member, proceeds will benefit the NHS's band's new uniform fund. Here's Brigham with 2.3 seconds left. He's wrapped up and brought down as time expires in the first half. The team's headed to the locker room, but Fostoria goes there with the 20-14 lead. All right, that's the end of the first half. Enjoy the bands.
Teeing up the second half kickoff for the Wildcats, number 57, Russell Osborne. Back deep to receive for the Redmen, number 20, Michael Burke, and number 23, Chance Register. Kick returned by number 23, Chance Register. Tackled on a play by...
Well, I really liked it how Ben Snyder ran that kick, punt maybe. He ran it after they kicked it, and he ran for a touchdown. And I thought that was really good. I thought that was the best part of the game so far.
The best part of the game so far, I think, would be the halftime stretching.
I'd have to agree, too.
We also have Beth Good, a band member, up here. What did you think about tonight's game?
Well, I thought the band was awesome because I twirled, but I don't know. I think we're playing really tough, but hopefully we come out with a win.
And I think our boys are pretty well evenly matched, and I think our boys will come out on top.
Thank you, ladies. Now we'll go back to the game. I'll give you some
stats, buddy.
We'll get some stats out to you here. As leading rusher for the Fostoria Redmen is Garrettson with 19 yards rushing. Leading passer is Brigham, who finished strong and had 130 yards on 5 of 6 passing. There's another stop by the Napoleon defense. That's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Leading receivers are Register, who had the big 50-yard touchdown run to close out the first half, or touchdown reception. Register at 79 yards receiving. Scoring, Garrettson at a 4-yard run. Extra point, no good. A safety on a blocked punt. Register at a 13-yard pass. Extra point, no good. Register, a 59-yard pass. No good. Extra point. So we got 3rd down and 11. As it's incomplete from Brigham for the Wildcats in the first half. Ryan Kramer was the leading rusher with 33 yards. Scott Rex also chipped in 14 yards on the running game. Scott Rex was 5 for 13 passing for 19 yards. Leading receiving, Van Osdale at 11, Durham 9, and Snyder with 2. Scoring for the Wildcats, Snyder had the big 65-yard punt return. The big turn of events there for the Wildcats. The Rex had the 2-point conversion. Durham had a 5-yard pass reception right before halftime, and the extra point was no good. So those are the stats for the first half as the Wildcats had the ball at the 33-yard line. Got 1st down and 10. Score 20-14 with 10:22 to go.
Nice work on the stats, Huffman. Yes, sir. He does a fine job. Hey. Oh, and that play was stopped way back. Kramer carried the ball. Tackled by Robert Scott and Orlando Darientes. 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats from Napoleon, Ohio. As they're practicing the holds for Matthew Russell as they figure this game might come down to a game of kicks. And you never know. They need to have that stuff just perfect. Here we go. The pass, went off the shoulder pads of 83. Looks like there's a flag on the play. Early indication against the Redmen. We're going to see just exactly what's going on. Was that against Napoleon? Yes, it was. Offensive pass interference by the Napoleon Wildcats. And I question that call, Ryan Huffman.
It looked like it could have gone either way as the refs decide to give it against the Wildcats. See what the mark-off's going to be. I think it's 15 yards. And this is going to bring up a big...
Oh, my.
I think it's going to be a loss of down, too, so it's going to be second down and 25 for the Wildcats. It's going to be a big chunk of real estate that they gave up right there.
Chunk of change.
Oh, and it's third down and 25 for the Wildcats. They got wide out Bolton to the lower portion of your screen and Van Osdale to the top portion of your screen. Oh, and it goes through Bolton's hand. He had some room to run as he was about the 30-yard line when he had touched it, and he could have had plenty of room to rumble after that. But that's going to bring up fourth down and 25 for the Wildcats. As the punt team is on, and Ryan Kramer's only gotten one punt off tonight out of 3, so this has been a major chore for the Wildcats. As they've had all kinds of pressure, and looks like they're setting up a return this time.
They'll drop it.
It's a big hit by Brooks Pedraza at about the 47-yard line. Kenny Peach, sorry. Looked like Kenny Peach and Brooks Pedraza were in on the play. A nice job by the punt coverage team. They had set up the return, but good coverage by the Wildcats. Let's see who we have in at quarterback for the Fostoria Redmen. Looks like Bringham's still in there. He did not start the game. Garrettson did, but he's been in there since the second quarter. And he is sacked as he looked like he faked the give. He was going to roll out, but there were all kinds of Wildcats in on the play. 63 John Black, Lee Zamaripa, and Jared Van Osdale and Ross Durham were all there for the sack as they all broke through the line and brought the senior quarterback down for a loss of 5 yards. Brigham has a negative 30 yards rushing on tonight's game on 4 carries, so I don't think they'll have him running the ball too much anymore. Got 2 wideouts to the lower portion of your screen, 2 backs in the backfield. Another good push by Lee Zamaripa, fumble! And it looks like a Fostoria Redmen fell on it. As the pressure was by Lee Zamaripa, who came flying through that line and took out the senior quarterback as he lost. This ball is spotted at the 42-yard line as he lost 5 more. Just bring up a third down and 20 for the Redmen at the 42-yard line. Started this drive in Wildcat territory and now are backed up into their own territory as he's sacked again by a load of Wildcats as the coaches are pumped up, as that was a great job as they lost a total of, they had Rickenberg, Zamaripa, the whole horde of Wildcats in there. He's lost 10 more. This brings a 4th down and 30 for the Fostoria Redmen. I think that's what Coach Snowd wanted to see out of his Wildcats coming out here in the second half. as Ryan Kramer receives a punt after it bounces and the offense comes onto the field. But looked like Ross Durham, Ben Snyder, and Jade Crossland just before halftime was over were out there. When they were huddled up, they were getting everybody pumped up and ready to go, and the defense really showed it there with the 3 straight sacks on the Redmond quarterback. Here comes the offense. Got 2 wideouts to the top portion of the screen. Kramer and Snyder in the backfield. Kramer and Pedraza in the background as he's pressured off of Rodriguez's hands at about the 45-yard line. So that would have been good for a first down if you could have held on, but it went off his shoulder pad. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 with 7:18 to go in the third quarter. Score is 20-14. You favor the home Fostoria Redmen.
Wild indeed.
Got Pedraza and Kramer in the backfield. Van Osdale and Bolton split out to your top portion of your screen. Rolls out and Rex slips again. So that's the second time we've seen a Wildcat slip, as Ross Durham did earlier in the game. And that's going to be a loss of 6. Now they face a long 3rd down and 18, as that was a loss of 8.
3rd down and 19 situation for the Wildcats.
Now Bolton to the lower portion of your screen. Van Osdale is behind, goes in motion.
Van Osdale got
As Rex rolls out to the lower portion of your screen, he finds Ross Durham as he's going to fight for the first down. He's going to get it with some second effort. A great job by Ross Durham in running there as he gets up to the 50-yard line. There's a nice pass from Scott Rex to
get that man in the game.
That's right. You need to find that big target there. That was a gain. 26 yards. Yes, 26 yards. As Rex is changing the play call as Van Osdale comes into the game late, or play late. He's in the backfield with Kramer and Pedraza's give to Kramer over the right side. He goes up to about the 52-yard line. Rodriguez comes to the game. Beneke in. Van Osdale out. And now we see Kramer and Pedraza still in the backfield with Bolton split out wide. Rodriguez in motion. Fake give to Pedraza. Rex is going to keep it. He's going to get, and a big hit by a Fostoria Redmen who laid a real lick on Scott Rex, number 83, but Scott got a gain of.
Oh my. Third
To bring up 3rd down and 5. That was a gain of 3 for Rex. So this is a big 3rd down conversion. The 46-yard line. We're going to have 2 wideouts again. Van Osdale and Bolton. Rex rolls out to the lower portion. You're seeing he hits Van Osdale real close to the first down. It's going to depend on the spot. Looks like he's going to get a good spot. Might call in the chain gang. See what they're going to say. They called a first down for the Wildcats. It's a nice pass from Rex to Van Osdale, as Van Osdale was wide open. So Wildcats getting some big 3rd down conversions here on this drive. Got Kramer, Pedraza, and Rodriguez in the backfield. So he fakes the give to Kramer, and he's going to be sacked at about or brought down. Let's see where they spotted at. About the 46-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 12 as they had a loss. No, they mark it at the 44-yard line. That's where his forward progress ended, so a loss of 2.
I got 2 words, Bull Durham.
That's right. Look for the big man with 2nd down and 12. As Van Osdale comes in, Rodriguez out. Once again, we see the 2 wideouts, the lower portion of your screen. Probably as Rex rolls out again. That's going to be intercepted by number 23, Chance Register, as he really overthrew Ross Durham. It wasn't even close. So that's Scott Rex's first interception on the night. That's going to be a big stop for the Fostoria Redmen, as that turnover could turn crucial as the Wildcats were driving. Brings up 1st down 10 at the 41-yard line for Fostoria. Score 20-14 with 3:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. This is NCTV5, your hometown cable access station, bringing you the best that we have to offer. This is Martin's flanked at the lower portion of your screen. As he throws it to Martin and it goes through Martin's hand. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. The defense is going to have to step up again and get a big stop here. Special teams have played a big factor in tonight's game with the 2 blocked punts that led to 2 Fostoria scores and the big 65-yard touchdown punt return by Ben Snyder, as he does it again on special teams. He's been doing it all year for the Wildcats. William tosses it to the lower portion of your screen to Rubright, and he gets about 2 on the carry.
Number 21, Jason Rubright.
That's a hell of a spot.
Initial hit on the play by number 34 for the Wildcats.
Scotty said they got quite a spot on that play. They almost gave him 3. It's 3rd down and 8 from the 40, 3.5-yard line. This Wildcat defense is ready to go. They got 6 men on the line of scrimmage. And it's out to Register, who breaks the tackle. He's down the sideline, and he's going to go all the way as Nick Sonnenberg can't catch up to him. Touchdown, Fostoria Redmen. And the Wildcats are now down 26-14. We got 2:42 to go as it looked like just a little swing pass out to the top portion of your screen. And after he broke 1 tackle over on the sideline, he was down the sideline for the touchdown.
I'll say one thing. The child can run. Yes, he can. And so I thought he was down over on the far sideline. Man, he broke that tackle, and he was off to the races. It looks like we're going to see the 2-point conversion attempt. But we'll see. Okay, we see flags. Say illegal procedure against the Redmen. Okay, so I would imagine if that backs them up, they'll probably attempt the field goal with 2:42 left in the 3rd quarter. That was a quick 3rd quarter. Wildcats managing the clock extremely well. But a late mistake late in the drive has turned things around. Yes, sir. All right. Looks like we're going to see it again. I believe this Wildcat defense will step up to the challenge. Yes, indeed they will. Redmond in motion. Drop back. He's all sucked up. That was a failed attempt, as I would have tried at least attempted the field goal to get at least one out of the possible two, but hey, I'm not calling their plays. So, 26-14 in favor of the hometown Fostoria Redmen.
As the Fostoria Redmen have still yet to convert on an extra point attempt, as they are 0 for 4. It's a nice game, and that drive was all register with the 56-yard touchdown run. There was nothing else to that touchdown drive. It took under a minute complete. As Brigham now has 186 yards passing for the Fostoria Redmen, and he didn't even start the game. He came in the second quarter. Maybe he was suspended, or who knows? Maybe he had some off-field problems.
I'd like to see why, Garrison started the game. That's two good possibilities right there. Okay, 2:42 left in the third quarter. Brings up. Actually, this is the kick. Okay. Here come the Redmen. The kick by Echoberry. Oh, it's a low one. Fielded by Doug Beneke, and here he comes. And Doug scoops up for about a 10-yard gain with 2:37 left in the third period. That's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Fostoria Redmen on, the Wildcats on their own 36-yard line. Redmond, in that fancy play calling that they have there, takes them about 10 yards. They get in a straight line and call that play. 2:37 in the third. Rex fakes the give, rolls out to the top side of your screen, keeps it. Tackled and wrapped up by about 4 or 5 Redmond. They're going to give him a gain. Can't see from my vantage point. I'd say 4. Excuse me, they give him 3. 2nd and 7 with 2:15 in the third period. Here comes Jade Crossland, the senior snapper, and Scout Rex in their offense. Rex fakes a give again, rolls to the downside of your screen. That was caught by Kramer, short of the first down. So going to bring up 3rd and I'll say 1. Yes, indeed. 3rd and 1. With 1:44 left in the third. Hey, Wildcats moving that ball. That's what we like to see. Keep it moving, Wildcats. Something they're doing well on. Just play mistake-free ball. Minute 30, handoff to 34. I'm going to say that that's Kenny Peach. I'm not sure if maybe Kenny Peach's jersey got ripped and he's wearing 34, but I'm going to say that that is Kenny Peach. Fakes the give, rolls out again, has a man open, overthrows it. Oh, and there was activity all over the field. 57. Zeb Welch and Durham were all over each other. Wow. But hey, that's all part of the game with 1:10 in the third. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats from Des Moines, Ohio. Got a score 26-14 in favor of the hometown Redmen. Here's Rex. Van Osdale in motion. Rex again rolls out, gets the pass off. Oh. Incomplete. Intended for Van Osdale. Oh man, that was real close there for Van Osdale but not close enough as he was reaching. Excellent talent in number 15, Jared Van Osdale. Doug Beneke checks in. Tyson Bolton steps out with 1:06 in the third. Here come the Wildcats up to the line. Here's Rex. Van Osdale again in motion. Rex fakes the give, rolls out again. That was the same play. Has a wide open Durham, good enough for Napoleon Wildcat, first down.
I'd have to say you're going to tack on another 15 yards as they roughed Scott Rex as they hit him late after the... Yes, they're going to call personal foul roughing the passer on the Fostoria Redmen. I do believe is number 33. So tack on 15 more after the first down pass. That was good for 13 yards.
Okay, Ryan Huffman, the man with the eye. Yes, sirree. So they're tacking some more onto that. A gift from God for the Wildcats. I just looked at the stick coming down off the yard marker, or the down marker actually. Man, oh man, it looks like that's been through some battles and they're sacrificing its life. It's been all over. The clock's running under a minute. We're down to about 50 ticks. Rex drops back, has a man wide open. And the Napoleon Wildcat. They want the defensive pass interference call as they're going crazy in the Wildcat stands as they feel the defender was all over Tyson Bolton. As they're going crazy. Things are getting hectic here in the Wildcat stands. The very few people that are here. There's Rex, comes out on the near side of your screen, wrapped up and sacked for a loss of about 12 yards. Corey Eckleberry was right in there, so that's going to be third and, I'll say 22. Oh, they give him, they don't take him back that, they do give him the forward progress that he got, so third and 19. 3 yards off I was. In comes Josh Frutha, bringing the play into his QB. Hey, we've got less than, 10 seconds and ticking. Luke Glick checks out of the game. 8, 7, 6. Will they get the playoff? Yes, sir. Last play of the drive. Of the quarter. And that went long. Intended for Ross Durham. Hey, and the four fingers go up on both sides. We've got fourth quarter with Fostoria up by 2 touchdowns. Oh my, Ryan Huffman.
Scott Rex has attempted 22 passes tonight. He's 9 for 22 for 70 yards. He's really spread the ball around well with his receivers, hitting 4 different receivers on tonight's game. Like I mentioned before, Bringham's been doing it all for the Fostoria Redmen with 186 yards passing for the Fostoria Redmen. And Register has 144 yards receiving, as I had to add them all up, because those are some big numbers right there. So, like we said, that speed of Chance Register is really taking a toll on the Wildcats. As I don't care how good of a coach you are, you can't coach speed. Something you're blessed with, and Fostoria has always been blessed with speed. Like I mentioned before with the great athletes, and they might be 0-6, but they still have speed here in Fostoria. So Wildcats ready to face this 4th down and 19. I see Scott Rex on the field. So they're definitely going for it at the 33-yard line. They need to get all the way down to the 15 or so. His 2 wideouts. Fakes the give. It's pressured. He gets it off, and it's going to be, incomplete.
Rex incomplete.
Because I think the fans want pass interference again, as it looked like the Fostoria Redmen went through the receiver, Jared Van Osdale. And that's going to turn the ball over on downs to the Fostoria Redmen.
Okay, Ryan Huffman will pick it up from there. Score 26-14. Early in the fourth quarter. Okay, we've got a good 12 minutes to play. Wildcats sure can turn the things around. It's all going to depend on this drive by the Redmen. Redmen need to play mistake-free ball as well as the Wildcats. Handoff to 21 as he advances the ball for about 3 yards. That was 21. Jason Rubright with the carry, tackled by Brooks Pedraza. Okay, here come the Redmen. 11:20 in the fourth. Handoff again. And stood up and brought down by the Wildcat defensive line. That's the interior front. I didn't know if the Redmen still had a running game left, all those passes, but it still looks pretty strong as John Black is coming out of the game. He looks like he's in some pain. It appears to be okay. Looks like his neck hurts a little bit. Oh, man, 15. Jared Van Osdale got a handle on that ball. It was indeed complete, but they're going to be short. It's going to bring up fourth and, I'll say 4. 4th and 4. 4th and 3. Looks like they're going to punt. They've been playing some nice defense, but I don't know. It really would have been foolish to go for it and not get it. The snap. The punt is up. Down to the 30-yard line. Fielded. Oh, Kramer got a handle on it. Dropped it. Picked it back up. And advances the ball just about to originally where it was first touched. Things almost got scary there as Kramer was a little hectic on getting the thing and controlled with under 10 minutes in the second half. Rex is going to try to make a drive right here that's going to, well, first thing you want to have it do is take off some time plus a score. But in terms of time, they really need 2 quick bangers. So we'll see. Fumble, bobbled snap, bot snap, whatever you want to call it. I think Rex fell on it. It's going to bring up second down in about 12. Okay. Second and 12. Yes, the Wildcats indeed are in the hurry up. They realize what they need to do. Rex is in trouble. Gets it off, it's low and incomplete. Intended receiver, 15, Jared Van Osdale. These Redmen need to hurry up. Obviously, the Cats are in the hurry up. With 9:29 left in the fourth, we've got a score 26-14. Favor of your hometown Redmen. 3rd and 12. Crucial down right here for the Wildcats. Need to pick up the first right here. Okay, let's check it out. Van Osdale in motion. Coming this way. Rex unloads to Durham. First down and a little bit more. Picked up about 3 yards more than he needed. And the Wildcats moveth thy ball. Hey, they're set. They're set. These Redmen are kind of sleeping. There they go. 2 receiver set. Hey, Rex finds Van Osdale. Short of the first. Gain of about 6. 2nd and 4 with 9:03 left in the game. Hey, man, you can feel the tension mounting as these Wildcats want to get back into this game. They very well could win it in the fourth quarter. Rex intercepted! But a nice hit laid out by Ross Durham. He slammed him down. Okay, so the Wildcats trying to move the ball a little bit too fast as Rex got picked off. Well, ball right here. Let's see what happens. 1st and 10. Handoff to 33, chance register. I'd say gain of very little. Oh, excuse me, Darren Nite. That was 33, Darren Nite. 55, Joshua Fruth in on the stop for the Wildcats of Napoleon. 8:22 in the second half. 26-14 in favor of Fostoria Redmen. Okay. Here's Brigham. Calls out a few signals. It's the reverse. It's Tank Register. Good enough. Picks up the first down. And there was an early guy on the scene, Brooks Pedraza. He couldn't bring him down there. Finally tackled by Sonnenberg and Van Osdale. So 7:54, the clock stops for the movement of the chains as they run the reverse. That was very well executed by those Fostoria Redmen. Okay. Point defense needs to tighten it up as we're approaching midway through the fourth quarter. Oh, and 21. Oh, and we've got a flag on the play. Could possibly be a face mask, but I'm not sure. That was 21, Jason Rubright, the ball carrier. He's a 5'10" 12th grader, 160 pounds. Is that going to go against the Redmen?
Yes, they called holding on the Redmen, so that's going to take them back 10 yards. So that's going to bring up 1st down and 20 for the Redmen. That's their 3rd penalty on the night for 30 yards, and something the Wildcats improved on from last week is their penalties, as they only have 2 penalties for 20 yards as they racked them up last week. So Peach comes off. First down and 20 from the 50-yard line. As Brigham's under center.
Oh my, pressure!
All kinds of pressure, and almost intercepted. She's not dang.
Brigham's pass intended for number 20, Michael Burke. Number 17, Tyson Bolton on coverage for the Wildcats.
As that was incomplete to bring up 2nd down and 20 as it went right through Tyson Bolton's hands. That's Brigham's only his 4th incompletion of the night on 10 attempts, so he's been awfully consistent for the Fostoria Redmen. As he gives right up the middle to Rubright, and nothing doing there, as he might have, his forward progress might have gotten him a yard, maybe. Brooks Pedraza on the stop for the Wildcats, as he did not get a yard at all. So the Wildcats have done a nice job of stopping the run tonight as they've given up a negative 14 yards rushing tonight. It's all gone through the air for the Fostoria Redmen.
What is that?
That's going to bring up a gain of about 6 for Rubright. Zamarippa on the stop. That's going to bring up 4th down and 16 with just under 6 minutes to go as the Wildcats are running out of time here in Fostoria. Fostoria sends a punt team on. We're going to need a big special teams effort here, as they do not have Ben Snyder back there, as he is injured. I do believe he's taken his pads off. Kramer gets it about the 15, as he's got a lane. He's going down the sideline. He needs one block. He cuts back. He's going to be taken down about the 40-yard lines. Good piece of running and blocking by the Napoleon Wildcats, as he had a real lane to go up the sideline, as that was a return for about...
Drops back. Finds Tyson Bolton over the center, close to a first down. Real close. 2nd down and short. Hey, they're driving. Okay. 2nd and 2. Rex back. Oh! Brought down, sacked for a loss. And they're going to go back a little ways. Going to bring up, instead of 3rd and 2, or the possible first down, we're looking at 3rd and 8. 3rd and 7, excuse me. Rex drops back, under pressure. Oh, picked up and dropped by number 20. What a hit. Michael Burke. And Rex is slow getting up, as he got a hit there. Oh my. Man, oh man. And the Redmen crowd goes crazy. 4th and 7 for these Wildcats in Napoleon, Ohio. Very crucial down. 4th and 12. The voice of the Wildcats, Van Osdale, in motion. Here's Rex. Rolls out to the top side of your screen. Looks like he's got a man in the flats. Picked off again by number 23, Tank Register.
That was a stupid play by Chance Register, as he just intercepted the ball at the 10-yard line, when if he would have just dropped it, they would have gotten the ball at the 45-yard line. So a stupid mistake by the Fostoria Redmen Chance Register, as he should have just dropped it and taken the 30 yards instead of taking the highlight reel of getting the interception. We got 4:18 to go, as Wildcats just spent their first time out of the second half. And they give right up the middle to Rubright, who keeps fighting for some extra yardage. He's going to get a gain. Or no, that was Bernentes. He's got a gain of about 1.
Gain of 2 on the play brings up a 2nd down and 8.
We got 3:50 and ticking. Because I think the Fostoria Redmen are just kind of going to try and run down the clock as much as they can, get a first down, and might just about do it for the Wildcats. Pitches to Rubright, as they had the quarterback bring him in his sights, but they still lost a yard as Rubright's down, getting up slowly. I think he lost a yard.
Tackle on the play by number 63, John Black.
That's going to stop the clock for an injury to Rubright. Or no, they're charged a timeout to the Wildcats, as it brings up 3rd down and 8 with 3:10 to go. So you to come out, and they're going to have signs from each class that you graduated, and come out and stand by your class and recognize Loose Field for 76 years of service to Napoleon. So come out for the big reunion at Loose Field. Like to see everybody there. Have a big crowd to send off Loose Field, as we will Be entertaining at Buckenmeyer Stadium next year. As they run the reverse again and to register. So there was a little bit of a melee there between number 57 and number 7, Brad Cordes. That's going to be first down and 10 as he got 10 yards on the reverse. That's the third time they've run that tonight. First down Redmen with 3:02 and ticking. The Wildcats will have one timeout to go. Timeout left. Redmen come up to the line. Bring them in underneath center. Two backs in the backfield. They give to Rubright, and nothing doing for Rubright. As he's carried the ball 14 times for exactly 14 yards. He is their second leading rusher, but Garrettson has 19 on 5 carries. Second down and 10 from the 26-yard line with 2:10 remaining in the game. So Wildcats called their last timeout. Or no, they did not call a timeout. So we got a wide receiver to the lower portion of the screen. As Brigham timeout. Timeout Wildcats as Brigham on the carry. Got maybe one. Now the Wildcats have taken their last timeout. It's 1:41 to go with a score of 26-14 here in Fostoria. So Redmen have used their speed to their advantage. Having some long touchdown runs by Register. I'll go through some Wildcat stats here with 1:40 to go. Kramer was the leading rusher with 35 yards on 11 carries. That was about it for the rushing for the Wildcats. Rex was (12 for 28 with 3 interceptions. Really spread the ball around nicely for the Wildcats, with Van Osdale having 3 catches for 23 yards. Kramer had 1 catch for 6 yards. Durham had 4 catches for 62 yards. So nice shot by Ross Durham. Snyder had 1 catch for 2 yards. Bolton was the final receiver, had 8 yards receiving. As they give the ball again right up the middle to Rubright, that's going to bring up 4th down and 8. No, that was Brigham. As the Wildcats have Cordes and Kramer back. I can go through some Fostoria team stats as they hopefully will be done on offense for tonight. Rubright is their leading rusher with 14 yards on 14 carries. Register had 7 yards on 3 carries. Garrettson 19 yards on 5 carries. Benitez had 5 yards on 7 carries. Bennett had 4 yards on 1 carry. And Brigham a whopping negative 43 yards rushing on 7 carries. So nice job by him running the football tonight. So Wildcats did a nice job of stopping the run. Had some big sacks on Rubright or on Brigham, as that really hurt his rushing stats. There is 50 seconds remaining in the game. Score 26-14. Receiving for the Fostoria Redmen, Benitez had 1 catch for 29 yards. Register had 4 catches for 144 yards. Garrettson Burke had 2 catches for 26 yards. Brigham finished 6 for 10, passing for 187 yards. Garrettson was 2 for 2 with 30 yards passing. The pass by Rex was incomplete. Scoring for the Fostoria Redmen, Garrettson had a 4-yard touchdown run set up by the block punt. Safety after a block punt. Register had a 13-yard pass. Extra point no good. Register 59-yard pass reception. Extra point no good. Register 56-yard TD catch. Extra point no good. So that ends the scoring for the Wildcats as Ryan Kramer. As Kramer receives a pass for let's see, how many do they call it? 25 yards. So there's 37 seconds to go in the game. Van Alsdale goes in motion. Rex off the fingertips of Durham. That falls incomplete with 32 seconds remaining. Bring up second down and 10.
Rex pass intended for number 88, Ross Durham, falls incomplete. Number 34, Jamison Bottom around coverage for Fostoria.
Rex has just gone over the 100-yard plateau for tonight passing. He has 123 yards passing on 30 attempts. 31 attempts, sorry. So he tosses another one up, and that one's incomplete with 28.6 seconds remaining. That brings up third down and 10.
Number 57, Zeb Wedge. Number 34, Jamison Bottom around coverage for Fostoria.
You want to finish this up on that? Just put everything on. Just
put everything.
Okay, third down and 10 for the Wildcats with 28.6 seconds left. We're going to see a little bit of number 16, John Huddle. Hey, he could have a man open. Nothing doing there as it's broken up with 22.8 ticks left on the clock. As the fans are getting ready to walk out of here. They're going to try to avoid the Mad Russia fans leaving here, as I believe this is probably a record low attendance number tonight. Not very many people at all coming out to support either team. And maybe that was the deciding factor. Hey, 22.8 seconds left. Huddle fakes the give, decides to keep it. Rolls out to the near side of your screen. He's going down with 14.9 ticks left on the clock. Yes, sir. Okay, Redmen are going to take over on downage on their own 29-yard line here at Fostoria Memorial Stadium, Friday, October 10th, 1997. And I imagine we'll see one quick down, and time will expire. All right, you just saw it, fans, as the Fostoria charges the field. The Napoleon Wildcats fall to 1-6. The Fostoria Redmen move up to 1-6. Final score 28-14 for Barry Spurlock, Jason Hatzel, Mr. N, Ryan Huffman,